Welcome to the first episode of our series exploring survivors' guilt after a road traffic accident. This series is not just about understanding the condition, it's about connecting, healing, and finding purpose in the face of pain. My name is Esther, and I know what it feels like to carry the weight of survivors' guilt. In 2007, I was involved in a near-fatal road traffic accident. I was left overwhelmed with questions like, why me? Why was my life spared? Today, I'll share what I've learned, starting with understanding survivors' guilt. So what is survivors' guilt? Survivors' guilt is a powerful emotional response. It's the feeling of distress that arises when someone survives a traumatic event, often questioning why they lived while others did not. This condition is common among road traffic accident survivors. After my accident, I found myself constantly replaying the event, asking, could I have done something differently? Did I deserve to survive? These thoughts are the hallmark of survivors' guilt, and they can feel impossible to escape. So why do we feel survivors' guilt? Survivors' guilt happens because our brains are wired to search for meaning after trauma. We instinctively look for reasons and assign blame, often to ourselves. It's important to understand that guilt doesn't mean responsibility. Just because you survived doesn't mean you're at fault. In my own journey, I realized how easy it is to let guilt consume you. I felt as though my survival was unfair. This is the irrational nature of survivors' guilt. It doesn't follow logic. Let's now look at recognizing the symptoms. The signs of survivors' guilt can be subtle or overwhelming. Here are some common symptoms to look out for. Feeling unworthy of survival. Obsessively replaying the traumatic event. Avoiding situations or triggers that remind you of the accident. Struggling with anxiety, depression, or guilt-driven behaviors. For me, one of the hardest parts was isolating myself. I didn't want to talk about the accident or even acknowledge it. But healing starts with recognition, knowing these feelings are valid and common among survivors. So how do we overturn this feeling? I started to change the narrative and began to ask myself a new question. What can I do with this second chance I have in life? I knew I wanted to make a difference. To help others navigate their journey after a traumatic road accident. That question changed everything. From my pain, I found purpose, and that purpose became the Trauma Pain Support Program, a program designed to help RTA survivors navigate their recovery. Survivors' guilt doesn't have to define your journey. Healing is possible, but it takes time, support, and self-compassion. In this series, we'll explore how to move forward, step by step. Whether it's understanding your feelings, reframing your narrative, or finding a supportive community, recovery is within reach. Thank you for joining me in this first episode. In the next episode, we will dive deeper into coping strategies that can make a real difference.